Whatever. Happy Sunday. It has been a great while since I have gone live. Let's forget how to do all this. But we shall give it a few moments for some people to show up. But I hope you have your coffee and your smoke of choice, be it a vape, a pipe, a cigarette, whatever the hell you want. I have taken to smoking a pipe in order to stop smoking cigarettes, and it has worked a treat, I can tell you. I haven't had a cigarette in about a month, and I don't even crave it. Now, of course, I'm addicted to the pipe, but I believe that will be much easier to quit. Hello, little Dev.
You're not inhaling as much as you did. So
Yeah, and actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been coughing less.
Little Dev.
Yeah, that's it. There's 5 people in here. Nobody comes live when I go live anymore. My channel's been so dormant for so long.
It takes a while for the notifications. YouTube's been really messed up with people's notifications too, and yeah, it's probably a shock.
Yeah. Well, plus I hardly use this channel anymore, so no one's... YouTube does that. The channels that go stagnant.
I shared you out, baby.
I appreciate it, honey.
Does he look so handsome?
Yeah, sure did my hair all up.
And if you put your hair like down, like look down a little. Look at it. It's all up in the braids. And he smells good.
I don't know why she wanted to get me all done up for the live, but such is her decision. So yeah, we're going to have a little chat. Hopefully we'll get a few more people in here. And then the other thing that I've been doing lately is, rather than just blaring Netflix all the time, hey Lady Lolo, I've taken to reading a little bit. So I was searching for some short stories and things like that I could read while live streaming. Since so many people enjoy the sound of my voice, I thought that might be kind of a cool thing to do. So
I just got your notification, by the way, so.
Lady
Lolo! Look at this handsome guy. I'm sharing with you guys.
Yes, indeedy.
Okay, I'll be chat with you.
Okay. Yes, got your coffee here. Back in the day, I used to put like a whole whack of sugar and stuff in my coffee, and now just a little bit of milk, and that's all I need. It's funny how tastes change over time, eh? It's just the way things go. But yeah, as I said, in an effort to stop smoking cigarettes, I've taken to smoking a pipe. And today I have, I don't know if it'll focus on it, Sailor's Pride Molcherie, which I really only got because it's Sailor's Pride, since I myself used to be a sailor. So, but it is pretty good. It's got a very light cherry taste to it. It's nice. Happy St. Patty's Day, Zena. And yeah, Cher and the girls have said that it doesn't stink like cigarettes do in the house. So, I mean, it's just bonuses all around. Well, I shall have one more slurp of my coffee. Today can't be St. Patty's Day. Or is it a set day, or is it is it the Sunday? Lady Lolo. I have such a hard time saying that. Lady Lolo. It does. Yeah, it's not a pungent strawberry. It's just like if you had a bowl of cherries sitting there and someone smoking a cigar next to them, kind of. It tastes nice though. Today, Newfie celebration is tomorrow. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm very distantly part Irish. I really haven't attached myself much to that lineage. Maybe I should. But yeah, okay. I don't think this live is going to have that many more people in it than it does. Hello, Rosie May. So I think we're going to... Well, I'll have another slurper coffee here. And as I was saying, I thought it would be a fun thing for me to find some short stories and poems and things like that to read during these lives. I know I've basically abandoned the whole true crime aspect. I will continue it. It's just I've really lost my taste for it because, for one, there's no new information that we can use to try and help solve these cases, find these people, whatever the case may be. And two, it ends up just being a he said, she said, tit for tat war between different creators. Or it's all about what Dawn has said or what Candace has said, and what's the status of the boys, and it has nothing at all to do with what happened that day to Summer. I miss the Chris Watts days when we actually fight over our interpretation of the actual evidence. That was true crime to me. This is not. This is just, I don't know what it is. Like a popularity contest. But, yeah. Anyway, I still wanted to come on my channel and do something because I've spent so much time on it since, I think, 2006. I've been at it. So I don't want to abandon it completely. But I do want to do something that at least interests me. It's my channel. I'm going to do it. So that's what we're going to do. I'll try and find some true crime stories that I can read. At the very least. I think that's what I'll do, but... But, yep, that's what's going to happen. And if any of the 13 of you watching have any requests for short stories or poems or something you'd like me to read, Bible passages, anything, just throw them in the chat there. But I have one here today that I was checking out last night, and it's one of those, you ever read something that you can really identify with? Like it's like, oh yeah, I know exactly what this author is talking about. It's one of those. So it's going to be very enjoyable for everybody. If I can read it well aloud, I will do my best. And hello, Jojo Husky, if I haven't said that before. Xena, High Priestess, Lady Lolo. Yeah, I've really let my channel just... It is in the death rattle, basically. But let's see if we can't revive this bitch. Okay. So what I'll be reading to you today... Just gotta get a couple more pulls of this pipe. So today I'll be reading The Haunted Mind by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Hawthorne is a pretty popular author, so chances are you've all heard of him. This was published in 1835 in The Token and Atlantic Souvenir. It's a fairly short story. It'll take me, maybe 10 minutes to read it. But yeah, grab your coffee and your smoke, sit back, and just enjoy. What a singular moment is the first one, when you have hardly begun to recollect yourself after starting from midnight slumber. By unclosing your eyes so suddenly, you seem to have surprised the personages of your dream in full convocation around your bed, and catch one broad glance at them before they can flit into obscurity. Or, to vary the metaphor, you find yourself for a single instant wide awake in that realm of illusions whither sleep has been the passport, and behold its ghostly inhabitants and wondrous scenery with a perception of their strangeness such as you never attain while the dream is undisturbed. The distant sound of a church clock is borne faintly on the wind. You question with yourself half seriously whether it is stolen to your waking ear from some gray tower that stood within the precincts of your dream. While yet suspense, another clock flings its heavy clang over the slumbering town with so full and distinct a sound and such a long murmur in the neighboring air that you are certain it must proceed from the steeple at the nearest corner. You count the strokes, 1, 2, and there they cease with a booming sound like that of the gathering of a third stroke within the bell. If you could choose an hour of wakefulness out of the whole night, it would be this. Since your sober bedtime at 11, you have had rest enough to take off the pressure of yesterday's fatigue, while before you, till the sun comes from far Cathay to brighten your window, there is almost the space of a summer night, 1 hour to be spent in thought with the mind's eye half shut, and 2 in pleasant dreams, and 2 in the strangest of enjoyments, the forgetfulness alike of joy and woe. The moment of rising belongs to another period of time, and appears so distant that the plunge out of a warm bed into the frosty air cannot yet be anticipated with dismay. Yesterday has already vanished among the shadows of the past. Tomorrow has not yet emerged from the future. You have found an intermediate space where the business of life does not intrude, where the passing moment lingers and becomes truly the present. A spot where Father Time, when he thinks nobody is watching him, sits down by the wayside to take breath. Oh, that he would fall asleep and let mortals live on without growing older. Hitherto you have lain perfectly still, because the slightest motion would dissipate the fragments of your slumber. Now, being irrevocably awake, you peep through the half-drawn window curtain and observe that the glass is ornamented with fanciful devices in frostwork, and that each pane presents something like a frozen dream. There will be time enough to trace out the analogy while waiting the summons to breakfast. Seen through the clear portion of the glass where the silvery mountain peaks of the frosted scenery do not ascend, the most conspicuous object is the steeple, the white spire of which directs you to the wintry luster of the firmament. You may also distinguish the figures on the clock that has just told the hour. Such a frosty sky and the snow-covered roofs and the long vista of the frozen street, all white, and the distant water hardened into rock, might make you shiver even from under 4 blankets and a woolen comforter. Yet look at the one glorious star. Its beams are distinguishable from all the rest, and actually cast the shadow of the casement on the bed with a radiance of deeper hue than moonlight, though not so accurate an outline. You sink down and muffle your head in the clothes, shivering all the while, but less from bodily chill than the bare idea of a polar atmosphere. It is too cold even for the thoughts to venture abroad. You speculate on the luxury of wearing out a whole existence in bed like an oyster in its shell, content with the sluggish ecstasy of inaction and drowsily conscious of nothing but delicious warmth such as you now feel again. Ah, that idea has brought a hideous one in its train. You think how the dead are lying in their cold shrouds and narrow coffins through the drear winter of the grave, and cannot persuade your fancy that neither shrink nor shiver when the snow is drifting over their little hillocks and bitter blast howls against the door of the tomb. That gloomy thought will collect a gloomy multitude and throw its complexion over your wakeful hour. In the depths of every heart there is a tomb and a dungeon, though the lights, the music, and revelry above may cause us to forget their existence and the buried ones or prisoners whom they hide. But sometimes, and oftenest at midnight, those dark receptacles are flung wide open. In an hour like this, when the mind has a passive sensibility but no active strength, when the imagination is a mirror imparting vividness to all ideas without the power of selecting or controlling them, then pray that your griefs may slumber, and the brotherhood of remorse not break their chain. It is too late. A funeral train comes gliding by your bed, in which passion and feeling assume bodily shape, and things of the mind become dim spectres to the eye. There is your earliest sorrow, a pale young mourner wearing a sister's likeness to first love, sadly beautiful, with a hallowed sweetness in her melancholy features and grace in their flow of her sable robe. Next appears a shade of ruined loveliness, that dust among her golden hair and her bright garments all faded and defaced, stealing from your glance with drooping head as fearful of reproach. She was your fondest hope, but a delusive one, so call her disappointment now. A sterner form succeeds, with a brow of wrinkles, a look and gesture of iron authority. There is no name for him unless it be fatality, an emblem of the evil influence that rules your fortunes, a demon to whom you subject yourself by some error at the outset of life, and were bound by this slave forever by once obeying him. See those fiendish lineaments graven on the darkness, the writhed lip of scorn, the mockery of that living eye, the pointed finger touching the sore place in your heart. Do you remember any act of enormous folly at which you would blush even in the remotest cavern of the earth? Then recognize your shame. Pass, wretched band. Well for the wakeful one, if riotously miserable, a fiercer tribe do not surround him, the devils of a guilty heart that hold its hell within itself. What if remorse should assume the features of an injured friend? If the fiend should come in woman's garments with a pale beauty amid sin and desolation and lie down by your side? What if he should stand at your bed's foot in the likeness of a corpse with a bloody stain upon the shroud? Sufficient without such guilt is this nightmare of the soul, this heavy, heavy sinking of the spirits, this wintry gloom about the heart, this indistinct horror of the mind blending itself with darkness of the chamber. A desperate effort, you start upright, breaking from a sort of conscious sleep and gazing wildly around the bed as if the fiends were anywhere but in your haunted mind. At the same moment the slumbering embers on the hearth and send forth a gleam which palely illuminates the whole outer room and flickers through the door of the bedchamber, but cannot quite dispel its obscurity. Your eye searches for whatever may remind you of the living world. With eager minuteness you take note of the table near the fireplace, the book with an ivory knife between its leaves, unfolded letter, the hat, and the fallen glove. Soon the flame vanishes, and with it the whole scene is gone, though its image remains an instant in your mind's eye when darkness has swallowed the reality. Throughout the chamber there is the same obscurity as before, but not the same gloom within your breast. As your head falls back upon the pillow, you think, in a whisper be it spoken, how pleasant in these night solitudes would be the rise and fall of a softer breathing than your own, the slight pressure of a tenderer bosom, the quiet throb of a purer heart, imparting its peacefulness to your troubled one, as if the fonder sleeper were involving you in her dream. Her influence is over you, though she have no existence but in that momentary image. You sink down in a flowery spot on the borders of sleep and wakefulness, while your thoughts rise before you in pictures, all disconnected, yet all assimilated by a pervading gladsomeness and beauty. The wheeling of gorgeous squadrons that glitter in the sun is succeeded by the merriment of children round the door of a schoolhouse beneath the glimmering shadow of old trees at the corner of a rustic lane. You stand in the sunny rain of a summer shower and wander among the sunny trees of an autumnal wood, and look upward at the brightest of all rainbows overreaching the unbroken sheet of snow on the American side of Niagara. Your mind struggles pleasantly between the dancing radiance round the hearth of a young man and his recent bride and the twittering flight of birds in spring about their new-made nest. You feel the merry bounding of a ship before the breeze and watch the tuneful feet of rosy girls as they twine their last and merriest dance in a splendid ballroom, and find yourself in the brilliant circle of a crowded theater as the curtain falls over a light and airy scene. With an involuntary start, you seize hold on consciousness and prove yourself but half awake by running a doubtful parallel between human life and the hour which is now elapsed. In both you emerge from mystery, pass through a vicissitude that you can but imperfectly control, and are borne onward to another mystery. Now comes the peal of the distant clock with fainter and fainter strokes as you plunge farther into the wilderness of sleep. It is the knell of a temporary death. Your spirit has departed and strays like a free citizen among people of a shadowy world, beholding strange sights, yet without wonder or dismay. So calm, perhaps, will be the final change, so undisturbed, as if among familiar things, the entrance of the soul to its eternal home. And there you go. I got a kick out of that. That was The Haunted Mind by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I'm not so good at reading aloud. I'll get better, but I tried. Hello, Harry Grace. Good to see you. Viper Sill, hey bud. So what did y'all think of that? The Haunted Mind. It was pretty interesting. You know, authors always have like heavy-handed words that can, if they go too hard with it, can kind of lose the punch. But yeah, we all do that when you get that point between am I asleep, am I awake, and then you're seeing things and it's like, was that a dream, was I still awake, all that stuff. Yeah, he just went into he just went deep with it. Yeah, I found that really, really interesting. I really like that. And it's a little bit creepy, so I thought that would fit with the true crime world. Let's see if we can find something else quick here. Yeah, there's a few. Here will be a good one that everybody knows. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. You remember that on The Simpsons? James Earl Jones read it, and like it was like Homer Simpson was the man. Oh, I always thought that was so good.
Hey, Eve. Oh, you got Viper in there.
Hey, Eve. Did I get married yet? No, not yet.
You all will know.
We will. I mean, it's all done but the paperwork, really, but we will do it. All right, so welcome back, Xena.
We have to get out of some debt first and worry about traveling and getting all the kids together first.
Yeah, we got things that take priority
Life
over
gets in the way.
Mm-hmm. But we'll get it. Okay, I will do my best attempt at reading this. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, what the heck did I hit on my computer? Okay. All is well. This was published in 1845 in the New York Evening Mirror of the American Review. I actually didn't realize it was that old. But okay, here we go. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of somebody rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant medium whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here for evermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now to still the beating of my heart I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. That it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating them no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, I truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened the wide door. Darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreams of no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." "This," I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what there it is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with the mane of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it was wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, Nevermore. Much I marvelled at this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, which such a name as Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther had he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the marrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, Nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, from unmerciful disaster, followed fast and followed faster till his song's one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of a bird and bust and door. Then upon velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking, what is this ominous bird of yore? What this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore? This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamp light gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamp lighting gloating o'er, she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by a seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy Goth hath lent thee, by these angels he has sent thee, respite, respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, O quaff, this kind of nepenthe, and forgot his lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, Nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempest or sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all daunted on this desert land enchanted, and this whom by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there a balm of Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, Nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, by that heaven bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, Nevermore. Be that word of our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart. Take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming. And the lamp light o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow from lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. And that was Edgar Allan Poe. Hello, Short Note Carrie, Joan Beasley, anyone else that's come in while I've been reading? Not many, I only got 3 watching.
There's people in and out. Hi, Short Note. Joanne.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're done for reading. Now we will just get to chatting. So, who's been having an interesting weekend? What you got going on? What's happening? I've been doing absolutely nothing. Yesterday, I spent almost the entire day in bed. I was reading The Count of Monte Cristo. And I thought I was like right near the end. It's on I'm reading on my phone. I'm not reading, I don't have the actual book. And I thought I was close to the end because it was seeming like things were, like a bunch of stuff was happening and it was looking like it was going to wrap up, but it kept on, and I was reading all day basically. I finally got to the end and whew. If you haven't read The Count of Monte Cristo, you should, because that is quite the ride, I must say. I don't know if I've just hit a point in my life where I'm just getting restless or just not content with where everything is at. So I'm changing things up. Quit smoking, went to the pipe, and I'll be quitting the pipe. Although I do really like it, so I probably will always smoke a pipe, just once in a while, rather than not all day, every day. Harry, I'm still looking for a way to earn income. What do you think? What do you think about a family moving into the Watts house? Would you, if you had the money, move into it and your future wife? I don't know if I would. It would have to be a very good deal, for one. But it's not so much the the remnants of spirits or what you might have as far as all that goes. It's more the constant people coming by and looking at you and taking pictures of the house and wanting to talk to you and all that. I think that would wear thin real quick. Thank you, Short Note Carrie. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I would. But Fortunately, I don't have the kind of money it would take to buy a house like that, or the desire to move all that way, so I can pretty much just put it out of the question. Why am I blurry? What is going on with my phone? Oh, there we go. So yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I feel like just not comfortable in my own skin lately or something. So I wanted to make some changes. So like I said, I quit smoking, and now I've taken up reading in lieu of watching Netflix and stuff all the time. I still watch it, but like, yeah. I just want something different, something better. And I really did enjoy The Count of Monte Cristo. Before that, I read Moby Dick, and I didn't like that. It seemed like the first couple chapters. I don't know if any of you have read Moby Dick. The first couple chapters are really good because it's like you're following the story and you're really engrossed in it, and the things that are happening are so weird but interesting. So, I mean, the first 3 chapters just fly by. But then it just gets into this, it's like half story, half instruction manual on how to be a whale hunter. So, like, there's a whole lot of minutia about, like the anatomy of a whale and all that stuff and how this is done and blah, blah, blah. And it's takes up quite a bit of the book. Honestly, I was skipping through a lot of that stuff. No whale of a time. Ha ha! It was good though. Like, I can see why it's a classic, but it's, yeah, not for me. Those seems like for people who want to just read something for a few hours and put it down and not really lose their place. Like, they'll start reading and they'll, oh yeah, because like really not a lot takes place. It's kind of like if you were to put it into a timeline, it's not really that long. But yeah, it's quite a good story. Read Catcher in the Rye. Yeah, I do want to read Catcher in the Rye. There's a few I want to read. Catcher in the Rye is one, but I also want to get into some like history, Canadian history, American history. Get into some of that. Even some religious history. I don't know, I just have this urge to learn or something. I don't know what's going on with me. But yeah, I definitely feel like my heart is happy. My mind needs something. I don't know if you ever get like that, but I've definitely been feeling like that this last, I don't know, few months anyway. So yeah, gotta change things up, I guess. We love you too, Harry. Love all 12 of you. Geez, I remember the day when I would go live and there'd be hundreds of people. And it's just not the case anymore. I've really let this channel deteriorate. I'm going to have to put some work into it. start making some true crime videos and things like that. I will. But I need to get myself satiated first. Before, when I used to like approach YouTube, I was excited about it. I was like, oh, I've got this piece of information. I've got to make a video about this. I've got to get it out there. I want people to know this. I want people to understand what I am thinking. And that has just completely disappeared. I no longer have any of that. I had a little bit of it with Summer Wells. I put out a couple videos like that Hunter and the deleted text thing. Some people still think he was telling the truth, but he wasn't. But yeah, I mean, after that, it's just all been about Dawn and Candace and their trials and tribulations and chaos of life. And I just can't go through all the crap of their day-to-day existence and pick it apart. I mean, more power to you if you can, but I can't. And for my side of things, I certainly don't see how that has any way of causing Summer to be found. So really, that's, if it isn't going to work towards the end goal of Summer being found, I really don't have much burning desire to pursue that avenue, you know? Yeah, it's the Dawn and Candace saga. That's exactly what it is. It's all about them. Although I will say, speaking of them, that in the beginning, when we were first talking with Don, it was on Cher's channel, and he was coming up and we were interviewing and asking him questions. I saw a man who was broken. I saw a man who was distraught, weary. I believed that he was very saddened and had a very heavy heart about what had happened. But now, when I hear his voice, when I see him speak, that's not there anymore. It's just not. Now it's just all about himself. He rarely talks about his daughter, and if he does, it's only in passing, and he never conveys any emotion about her at all unless he's directly asked to do so. And God, that is weird. Personally, I don't think Dawn had anything to do with Summer going missing. I think it was Candace, but that's just my opinion. It could very well have been Dawn. Candace could be innocent. I have no idea. That's just my gut. But Candace is the same. And actually more disturbing. You remember that video when Candace is describing to the news like what happened? Like, I walked her back to the house. A couple minutes go by, I go back and check, and she's like so nonchalant. And I said to the boys, "Where's Summer?" And they said, "Oh, she went downstairs to play, Mom." And I go down there and I looked around, she wasn't there, and she was just gone. Like, she said it like that, like she was just gone. Her eyes like widened and everything. There's no sadness at all. No sadness. Confusion, maybe, but no sadness at all coming from either of them. Dawn, I did see sadness from Dawn. I never saw sadness from Candace. Never. The only time was during that Dr. Phil fiasco, but that looked more like stress and embarrassment and sadness for herself than for Summer. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Have any of you seen sadness, like true sadness, come from Dawn or Cadmus? Like I said, I saw a little bit from Dawn at the start. Maybe not so much sadness, maybe more regret. Maybe. I don't know, but one thing about smoking a pipe is it's meant to be like you smoke the pipe, you don't do anything else, kind of. As it doesn't stay lit unless you attend to it every minute or so. So it's not like a cigar where you can leave it down for a few minutes and it'll still go. I do like it though. Much better than cigarettes. Yeah, a lot of you have come from the Watts case because that's where my channel actually really grew. Because I started making some debunking videos. Because people were losing their minds over there. They still are. My God, that is one crazy ride, that case. People are finding just the slightest details about things, and they're seeing something that it isn't, and they're convincing themselves that that's what it is, and then all of a sudden a few thousand people are believing it. So then I would look at it with a fresh eye and say, no, God, that's not what it is, and make a video, and that's pretty much how I got my channel to grow. Just being a debunker, the voice of reason. Your dad used to smoke a pipe and you loved the cherry tobacco smell? Yeah. That's what I got in here. I got a cherry. It's pretty good. Yeah, Eve, I did do a lot of debunking. That was the main thing that I did. Is every time there was a new theory, I'd look at it, and if I believed in it, I'd be like, okay. If I thought, no, that's not right, I would make a video about it. I almost felt it was necessary. Because with some of them, the theories were so crazy and so wrong. Like I felt like it was a public service almost, just to tell people that, oh God, this is way beyond the realm of possibility. And I look like a professor with the pipe. I don't know what school people would want to attend seeing this face. What class do you think you'd be walking into if you saw me like this? Viking History 101? Maybe? Philosophy. I'm going to read more philosophy because I am very intrigued about why we're here. Not so much the physicality of how we came to be here, but more the reason. So yeah, philosophy is a good one for me. I could talk philosophy for hours, even though I don't really have much of a stance or a theory other than, well, I believe that God exists and I believe that He made us. But beyond that, I don't know why He made us. I don't know what we're supposed to do. I don't know. I have many speculations and love to hear what other people think and stuff like that. The only people I can't tolerate would be like I think they're called nihilists, where there is no God, there's no point to anything. You're just an accident and you're just going to die, so there's no point to anything, so just do whatever. That is such a cop-out, and it's the most ignorant philosophy, because it's just like giving up. It's like, I don't care, I don't want to learn nothing, doesn't matter, just let me mark out my 80 to 100 years and be done and forgotten. What's the point of that? Even if that's the case, it's a hell of a lot more fun to speculate on something a little bit more exciting. Layla, your husband and you love Viking history for some reason. I do too. I haven't really read up on like actual history, but I love the... Cher and I, we've watched Seven Kings Must Die, that movie, a few times, and the series, what was it called? The Last Kingdom.
Love it.
We absolutely love it. We've watched that through, I don't know, probably 5-6 times now. But definitely, I would like to read more about what life was like before they ventured out. Because they alluded to it a little bit. That's just like the land is harsh and they're trying to find a place where they can basically survive. And then it becomes this whole other thing. Just like pretty much how any other civilization moved from one spot to another. There's always battles and problems and everything. Just like that. But I would like to learn all about it, actually. We're supposed to live our lives for good in Jesus, for God in Jesus. I think so. Harry, I agree. I think that God made us and He wants us to live up to His standards, which you can find in many religions, in the Bible, the Quran, what have you. There's all kinds of standards that we're supposed to live up to. I find when it gets problematic is when man tries to interpret it. That's when I think it's not so much, it's not religion, well, it's not belief and faith that I have an issue with. It's religion. It's when man puts his stamp on it and says, okay, this is the way it is. I'm right. This is what we must do. And then another group over here says, well, that's close, but I think this is the right way. And then another group is saying, you're both wrong. This is the right way. And then they just end up hating each other and wanting to destroy each other because they feel like they're right and anyone else who opposes them is evil. And I can tell you, after 47 years on this earth, I have met a few truly evil people. But they are very far and few between. There are very few truly evil people in this world. Most people think that they are acting out of righteousness. Most people think they are doing the right thing. Generally. Every single one of us, we couldn't look in the mirror and say we are doing everything we possibly can to live the best possible life. Not one of us can do that. Not one of us could ever do that. That's kind of the point of being human, if you ask me. That's one of the lessons we're supposed to learn, is we can't be perfect. There is no possible way we could do all that we are supposed to do. We are not physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally able to do that completely. We can be close, and there are many people who devote their life to trying. But nobody can do it perfectly, that's for sure. So the concept of religion is where I start taking an issue. When it goes beyond belief and a willing to serve, it gets muddled. And that's almost every major war. Like religion has been at the forefront of more murders than anything else by far. You could combine all the disease in the world, you could combine all accidents, all everything else. It would be a drop in the bucket compared to how many people have died in the name of religion. It's not even close. And we're a young species. We haven't been here for millions of years. We still have a lot to learn. We aren't even close to being fully evolved, if you want to use that word, to where we're going to be. We are trying to figure things out. We are sure that we have them figured out, but we are wrong. We do not have anything figured out. The truths that we know today are as false as the truths that we thought we knew 100 years ago that turned out to be false. We will always learn more. We will always learn the error of our way. Unfortunately, our ignorance will dictate that we will also repeat our mistakes. But we will learn. We will improve. We will get there. Just not in our lifetimes. Rastafari religions are all the same thing, just ritualized differently. Basically, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the core of most any religion is very, very similar. We were placed here by a being, and we are being watched, and we must abide by their rules. And the rules generally are very similar. I don't think that any religion has it right. I don't think, because it's made by man. All religion is made by man, interpreted by man. So by definition, it can't be correct. It just can't, because no man ever, from the first man in history till now, has been infallible, has been all-knowing. It has not happened, and it will not happen. So to say that any religion is correct is just speaking out of ignorance. But it is far more ignorant to hate other people for not believing the same things you do. One creator I really enjoy watching, he's funny. It's called The Pipe Cottage. And I found him because I was Googling about pipes and stuff. Well, I saw him do a live stream with a friend of his. And in that live, he was talking about how he is a Protestant, but was in the process of converting to Catholicism. And a couple of things he said, like he's down in Kentucky, like down in the Bible Belt, where they take their God serious. He said, you can go down this street and there will be 5 or 6 different denominations of churches, all praising to God, all praising to Jesus, but they won't even speak to each other. Like there's that much judgment and hatred between them because they think each one is like a false religion. And him converting from Protestant to Catholic, actually, he's caused some rifts in his family. He's not getting along very well with his parents because of this. And I just heard that, and I'm just like, holy. It's unbelievable. I suppose it's good in a way to have a strong faith and a strong belief system. That's good. You know? But really, if your faith and your love of God and your love of Jesus takes you to hating other people, you have lost your way. Without a doubt. I don't care who you are. You have certainly lost your way. And my honey is looking for something here. Oh. Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Now you gotta do some members content. You just gave your 10 away.
Okay, so yeah, Cher told me about this and I completely forgot. But now, was it once a month, honey?
Yep.
Once a month, creators can gift memberships to their channel to viewers.
He's gonna get doing member. He hasn't done member stuff, but I'll get on his butt to do member stuff.
I think one of the things I'd like to do on the members, because I was kind of enjoying reading like that, is I should like pick a book and then just read it on the members live. Well, we can do whatever over there. But yes, thank you, honey. So I don't know who, like she just did the clicking. I don't know who got the memberships or what. If it was just, it says I gifted 5 memberships, but doesn't say who got them.
Yes, it does. I got one. Yay. Born a Honey got one. Peach Rose, Hot Damn, Meep, Melissa Brown, Mary B, Linda D, Swade Smith, and Donna Bolton.
Okay.
I'll get on him. He'll get it. He'll get something going.
I learned something new today. I lost what the chat was saying when I was...
Sorry.
Zena says her net is messed up. All right. Well, thanks for hanging, Zena. You're probably already gone, but yeah, we're always learning. Yeah, a lot of churches want money. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. It's been a long time. I think I might endeavor to find a church here to start going to. Just, like I said, I've been feeling like my heart is happy. I've got Cher and my daughters. I'll have my sons at some point. My heart's happy. But there's something lacking with me. So I need to venture out and find what that is. Maybe I need to... Yeah, like Cher said, we haven't had adventure in a while. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need some adventure. Maybe I need, I don't know, to go back to my roots. I do find myself quite often sitting and pondering about family. The way family used to be. The way my family was. Like when I was growing up, I remember countless special occasions, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. A house would be filled with people that I rarely see, cousins that I love and only get to see just once in a while, and it was always so wonderful. And once my mom passed away, truthfully, in a couple of years before she passed away, because she just didn't have the strength to keep everyone together. But once my mom passed away, it was very obvious that she was the glue that was keeping all of our extended family together, everybody. After that, my sister took on that role and tried, but it doesn't happen anymore. I haven't seen my brother. Well, I saw him once last year. Before that, it had been a couple years. I don't know when I'll see him again. And it's, cousins that I haven't seen since before my mother died. It's been over a decade. And I think maybe that's what's doing it, is now I'm getting a sense of family again. So it's new to me, but it's maybe a little bit overwhelming. I don't know. Maybe I should talk to a therapist. Maybe he can help me figure this shit out. I don't know. But either way, I got to do something, because I got happiness here. Everything's muddled up here. There's my mama. Yeah, I'm doubting any of you have actually seen this. It's not a great picture of her, but there's mom. Yeah, 2011. Yeah, she was a very, very wonderful woman. She was one of those women that was dealt a shit hand physically. Like, she had so many illnesses that doctors actually wanted to study her because they couldn't figure out how she was alive. She had so many things wrong at the same time. Eventually, it was cancer that got her at the end, but she had Cushing. She had tumors in her brain that she had removed. They were actually screwing with her for years. She would fly off in these rages or just lose her shit, and no one could figure out why. Like, they thought she was possessed or something. But yeah, it turned out she had tumors on her pituitary gland that was screwing her up. They finally figured that out, and then she was just this wonderful, wonderful woman. And it was even close to her last days. She was still at home, weak, but she would still get so excited when I would come home from work. I endeavored to stay there because I knew she was not long for the world, so I wanted to soak up as much of my mom as I could. But anyway, she'd be so excited. And she would scream, "Yay!" Like, she'd make way over the top sometimes. But she would give me like the biggest hug. And she would squeeze me as hard as she could. And she'd actually hurt my neck a little bit when she would do it. But I remember that very clearly. And I also remember I would tease her a lot. just various little ways, just, you know, like tickling her shoulder or whatever, making fun of her when she misspeaks, things like that, you know, things like friends do to each other, right? And there would be two responses that I would get from her that I would absolutely love. One would be she would go to trying to hit me, like punch me in the arm or something like that, and I would just like give it to her and let her. But she hit me so hard that she would hurt her hand, and then I'd start laughing at her. So she'd hit me again, and then she'd hurt her hand even more. She'd just have to give up. And meanwhile, I'd be struggling to breathe, just trying to catch my breath from laughing so hard. And the other thing that when physical violence was not possible, as in I was out of her reach, she would call me, "You shithead." She would. I still hear that so perfectly after all these years. And it was all out of love. Like, she was never angry at me or anything like that. It was just our thing. But oh my God, I remember that clear as day. I really don't know why I got on that subject. But yeah, cherished moments, Z, for sure. Yeah. You heard if you eat 3 raw almonds a day that you won't get cancer. There's lots of theories. I don't think anything is... I mean, we're apparently born. We have cancerous cells inside of us from birth. It's just whether or not they start multiplying or whatever. But there's so many theories and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that since I've smoked for 20 years or whatever, that I will eventually get some kind of smoking related cancer. Might not be till I'm 70. But I figure I already have MS. I'm not going to live to see 100 no matter what I do.
Stop talking like that.
And that upsets Cher when I talk like that. But so I shall stop. Mary B, yes, you have a membership. What happens is every month, creators can give 10 memberships away. So I don't know how that works at all, but you should be able to go in and see membership content that I've posted. I haven't done any in quite a while, but since we can do this, I definitely will. I'll do more member stuff. But it's good to see you, Mary B. Oh, that sound must irritate the crap out of you guys, that whistling. Sorry. Well, I appreciate that, Harry. Viper 6. Smoking doesn't sure help our cause, but then again, my dad lives to 92. Well, there you go. None of us are going to live forever. I say just enjoy it while you can. Don't be stupid about it, but I always joke that I wanted my last words on this earth to be, whoops. And it always takes people a second before they laugh. That's how I'd want to go if I could choose it. Some kind of weird, funny, hopefully hilarious accident. Like, I remember when he was standing there and he was so happy and doing everything, and all of a sudden, last thing I heard is whoops, and then down he comes 6 stories and slammed onto the ground.
Okay, but after I die.
Cher says, but okay, but after I die. She does not like me talking about dying. But yes, you'll find that, well, I see a lot of people that were in the chat at the time I gifted them. I guess it just does it randomly. Yeah, oops can definitely happen on a motorcycle. Viper, shit, you might not even know I sold my motorcycle, dude. For now. We only rode it like twice last year. And yeah. It just seemed like one of those things that there's not much point in having it for now. Could put the money to better use, so. We did that. But yeah, who knows what the future holds. Yeah, it sucks. I've had a motorcycle for, I think I got the first one in 2010. So yeah, it was definitely a big part of my life for a while there. I miss it, but it's not something that not something I need anymore. Be nice to have. One of those things that's nice. Be nice to have, but it's not necessary. I don't know why. I can't stop yawning. I better get some more coffee. So I think I will get the heck off this here stream. For those of you coming at the end, I did some reading. Actually, I read a short story by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I think it was called The Haunted Mind. It's pretty good. So if you didn't hear it, go on back and listen. And yeah, I want to say thanks to everyone for coming by and hanging out and still supporting this channel, even though I haven't done hardly anything with it. But yeah, love you guys. Take care. God bless. And until next, I can't even say it anymore. I used to say that so smooth, but it's been so long I can't even say it. Try again. Until next time, this is True Crime Productions with Prayer Boy 77, aka Prayer Boy 77, aka Mr. Cher, aka the Beard of Reason, aka the Voice of Reason, saying good day, good night, and Godspeed. Did it. Later, peeps. Love you.